Hi guys, my name is Cassandra and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. I just want to say before I start this new mom tag that I am so thrilled to almost have 100 subscribers. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed so far. And yeah, if you haven't yet and you're watching this video, please subscribe and make sure you ring that bell so that you're notified of all my upcoming videos. So I'm going to get right into it. Today I'm doing the new mom tag that I saw, and I know it was around Mother's Day that most people did this, but I thought now that I'm almost at 100 subscribers, maybe you guys would want to know a little more personal information about me, so I thought it was the perfect time to do this mom tag. So there are 15 questions, and I'm going to go through each one with you. So the first one is my favorite mom hack. And I thought about this one for a long time. The only thing I could think of was when I'm doing when I need my kids to really listen to something, or when I have an important lesson that I want to teach them, that I make sure to do it at meal times. So when all of my kids are gathered around the table, I make sure to pull out, if I'm doing scriptures, or that's when we do like our morning basket time. If you don't know about my morning basket, then I will put a card up top, and I'll also link it down below so that you can check out my latest morning basket video. Also, I'm coming out with a new series of morning basket videos featuring each letter of the alphabet and different activities that we are doing in regards to each letter. So that's been really fun. So anyway, so the most embarrassing mom moment is the second one. And I can remember early on when I had my first child, my daughter, when I went to breastfeed, I had a lot of trouble breastfeeding her, and especially in public places. Like I remember there were a few times where I just had major meltdowns of having to breastfeed her in public places, having nowhere to go, because back then we didn't have a car, and so sometimes I would take the bus somewhere and be stuck there and just have to breastfeed. I remember having to breastfeed once in the lobby part or whatever of Home Depot, and I just remember being so mortified because she wouldn't let me use the cover either. So it's just something about that then. Now I'm totally fine and comfortable, but I had such trouble in the beginning that I remember I just felt so embarrassed. What part of the day do I like the most? I would have to say either the morning, the very early morning, and I feel like that's probably my most favorite because I get the most done. I'm most productive in the morning, and usually we have more of a routine in the morning than we do for any of the other part of the day. So I think that makes me happy and my kids happy to know what's coming and things like that. Or when I put my kids to bed and I'm not super tired and I can stay up with my husband, then that's probably also my most favorite time of the day. But my least favorite part of the day is just the moment where I have to brush my kids' teeth. If you follow me on Instagram and you saw my recent live video, I talked about the struggles I've had brushing my kids' teeth, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's such a struggle sometimes. They fight probably the most about anything about brushing teeth, and so that's become one of my least favorite times, is just that specific part in my kids' bedtime routine. Also, lately, dinner time has been my least favorite part of the day because my kids are going through this new phase where they say yuck, they don't try it, and then they fuss for from dinner time to bedtime, asking me over and over again for something else to eat. And we're really trying to be no, this is what you have to eat, because I used to be making 100 different meals at supper time, and I realized that if I do want, a growing family, and also I want to simplify my life a little bit, that I need to stop doing that, and I need to just make one thing and have them at least try a bite. If they have tried a bite and we've had it a few times, and I know that they truly don't like it, then I'll let them have fruit or vegetables or whatever. Something easy that they can just grab. But if they will not try it and they just say yuck, yuck, which is going on 95% of the time, I would say now lately, then I say no, and then they fuss, and it's this big ordeal. So that's probably my least favorite time of the day right now. What is the worst thing someone has said to you while pregnant is number 5. And I can't really think of anything someone said to me while I was pregnant. The only thing I can really think of is when I was pregnant with my second and we were trying to keep it a secret, someone flat out asked me if I was pregnant again, and not wanting to lie, was just yeah. So that was kind of an awful way to tell people, and then it just got around because it was at my church, and my church community is pretty close, and so it just got around really quickly that I was pregnant. It was a little bit too early for me to be telling people. So yeah, I guess that's like the worst thing, but it really wasn't that bad. So some baby names we didn't agree on. So my absolute desire, if I had a girl, would be to name her Scarlett. That was like my number one baby name. And my husband just hates it. He will not let me name my kid Scarlett. So that's forever going to be a name that I wish I could name my child. And for him, it's probably for a boy, Oliver. He really wanted to name our boy Oliver, which I really did like for a while, but since then I've come in contact with a few different Olivers, and I don't know, it really just was like, no, I just don't want to name my kid Oliver anymore. So he's kind of upset about that, because I think we were going to, and then we switched it for our son Tobias when I wasn't feeling comfortable, and I think he was sort of hoping that I would go back to that, but I don't think we'll ever name our boy Oliver, although we don't have another good name right now, so you never know. But he definitely won't name a kid Scarlett, which I'm sad about. Do you co-sleep is the next question. We do co-sleep. My daughter is 4 and my son is 2, and we still co-sleep with both of them. And that's happened by an accident. I guess I'll tell you that little story. Is we weren't going to co-sleep. We had a bassinet already with my first, and my midwife just said, oh, why don't you just put her in the bed with you? And I was like, all right, why not? Okay. Or I think I had asked her something like, okay, should I put her in the bassinet now? You know, when you first have a child, I don't know, I just felt so lost. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing with my own child. So I was just kind of asking her a few questions. Should I put her in the bassinet now, you know, or something? And she's like, no, just put her in the bed with you. And I was like, okay. And then I just never used the bassinet after that. We just co-slept, and we're still co-sleeping. So something you bought but never used. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to say our baby bottles. We bought a set of really nice baby bottles, and I think we did use them, but it was maybe like 3 times. So we barely ever used them. Not enough to make up for the investment. 3 hospital bag must-haves is the next one. And I don't really have a good answer for that because I had home births for all my kids. So I didn't bring a hospital bag. I did pack one, but I can't really remember what I put in it. So yeah, I guess like some important things to have after a home birth for me was like a snack candy. Like I think I had toast after each labor, like right away, and like some Powerade or something. Powerade and toast, I'm pretty sure I had with both my kids right after. So I guess have some toast and Powerade ready, Gatorade, whatever. And yeah. Pretty simple at home. You have everything you need right there. So am I a routine mom or a go with the flow is the next question. And what is my kid's bedtime routine? So it's kind of a 2-parter. I am a go with the flow mom for the most part, but I'm really trying to transition to be a routine mom. I have a good routine in the morning, like I said, but other than that, I suck. I'm actually making like a routine board right now to try to get us on a better routine, especially because my daughter would technically start homeschooling this year. Like she would start school if she was going in this year. And so although we are going to do a lot of play-based things, I do want to kind of have a little bit more of a structure for her. So I'm trying to transition to do that, but I am such a spontaneous, flaky, all over the place person that it is really hard for me. So if you have any tips for me, please leave them in the comments below for how to just stick with a routine. I guess that's what it is. I just have to do it. I guess that's probably the only comment you can give me, right? Is just do it. But if you have any tricks or something, please let me know. And our bedtime routine is pretty simple. The kids get their PJs on. We brush teeth. Then we read the scriptures, we pray, and we read, each of the children pick a story. And then we co-sleep, so I cuddle with both of them, one on either side. It's usually me, I'd say about 95% of the time. Since Chris has been off school, though, he's made a real effort to put them to bed a little more, but they don't take it well because they're just so used to me doing it. Anyway, and then I usually sing to them for however long it takes them to go to sleep. And so sometimes that's a really long time, like hours it used to be. Hours it used to be. So yeah, that's our routine. But it's good because then they learn a lot of like the children's songs and the hymns that I want them to learn because I just sing whatever I want them to learn. And that's just a way they learn songs. But lately my daughter's wanted me to sing the same song over and over again. So like singing the same song for an hour, that gets, sometimes I put it on my phone even. What type of labor did you have and what pain relief? So I've had 2 children. Both of them have been home births. My first labor was really, really long. I think that's probably normal for a lot of people in their first child. It was long, but it was wonderful. one of the best experiences of my life to see how far I could push my body. My midwives were absolutely wonderful. I had 2 at the time because I had a student one, and they just said the most encouraging, wonderful things to me for hours and hours and hours. And it was so, so positive in the end. In the next labor with my son, I just thought of words she said to me throughout my labor, literally, because my second midwife wasn't that great either. We were in a new city, and I don't know, she was not great. But also, that labor was super, super fast. She barely got there in time. And so through the contractions and through the labor, which was much faster, yeah, I just was thinking of the words and the things that I did with my first midwife because it was such a positive experience. And again, I would say that one was a positive experience too. So anyway, that was my labors, and I obviously didn't have pain relief because I was at home. Have you ever been mom shamed is the next question. I don't even really understand what that means. I don't think so. The biggest challenge you've faced since becoming a mom has probably just been, I feel like this is probably the same for every mom, but just like balancing everything. So dealing with trying to clean my house while having kids, with, well, especially homeschooling, with their education, with, you know, taking time for myself, with all those things. Just having a good balance, I guess, has been probably the most challenging thing for me since being a mom. The best advice I was given and the best advice I would give to a new mom. The best advice I was given, I can't think of anything that stands out to me that was the best advice I was given, other than the experiences I had as a child. I guess that would be the best advice I was given, as just to watch other people's families and learn from that. I had the opportunity, so I learned from my own family, obviously, and so I lived with actually a few families that I got to see in my teenage years. I nannied for a family, things like that, and I got to experience and ask questions and all those things to those families and people that I truly admired. And so that was the most helpful thing to me, to know what I wanted to be as a mom. And then the best advice I would give, I guess, okay, the best advice I would give is when there is something challenging going on with your child where you feel like, I cannot deal with this the rest of my life. Because I feel like every few months something comes up and I'm like, I can't deal with this. For the rest of my life, I'm going to go nuts. Is to remember that things often come in phases, and the phases often don't last for more than a month. And so what I mean by that is behavioral issues, you know, sleep regressions, all those really hard things where you go, I can't get through this in your mind sometimes. I would say to just remember this is a phase. And even if it's not, you know, like say your child is acting out in some way and it does last longer than a month, just to tell yourself that this is a phase and it will pass, gets you through, at least for me. And so that's been probably the most helpful thing for me and the most helpful advice I could probably give. And then the last question is, who is your mom crush and who do you tag? So my mom crush would definitely be Sarah from the channel A Tribe of Many on YouTube here. She has 10 kids now, I think. I don't want to screw this up. But just, you can just tell she is like the best mom on the planet, and I totally just want to be her. So that's my mom crush, and I tag you. I tag you if you are a mom watching today to do this tag. It's been pretty fun, actually. I liked answering these questions, and I would love to know your answers. If you want to comment maybe your favorite question down below and answer it. I would love to get to know you guys better. I'm so grateful for this community that I'm building here on my channel. And again, please consider subscribing if you haven't already and you want to stick around and see more videos. I upload once a week, and usually Wednesday mornings, and well, always Wednesday mornings at 7 o'clock. So if you haven't rung that bell, that's when you can catch me. And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching today, guys, and I will see you next week.